Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Untitled Gaming channel. I am AJ Gales. Guys, sorry this episode's going up a little bit late. I had people coming in. We're changing out my house. We're changing our internet providers. So now I have faster internet. I can actually upload videos from my house now. As opposed to attempting to go elsewhere to upload them. I'm using a really shitty old laptop that I don't know. It won't connect to any of the internet. I think I've been to a university, a bunch of Starbucks and places like that I could jack in Wi-Fi, and I could not get anything uploaded since I put up the first video for Uncharted 4. So, that's why Doom hasn't been up, and Homefront the Revolution hasn't been up. Both of those first parts are starting today, along with more Uncharted, this, that, and the other thing. Anything else? I'm going through all the housekeeping stuff in my head like I usually do. I never think of it fully before I start this. I think that's all the housekeeping stuff, guys. If you're new to this channel, you're new to this show, really. Basically, what I do is, I gather news stories from all over the place. Last week and this week, very heavily IGN. I think I have a couple stories that aren't IGN. But, I get news stories from around the web, Game Informer, Eurogamer, Polygon, IGN, GameSpot, all over the place. And, I type up a bunch of, all the interesting stuff I find. I kind of go through the list, talk about them. Some stories I have some opinions on, I'll get into that, and then other times I don't. So this show shouldn't be too terribly long, kind of like last week's. It's always like this kind of gearing into E3. And by the way, around E3 time, I need to double check the dates. I think it's around June 13th is when E3 starts. You can find on this channel, I'm going to be doing post videos for every press conference, meaning I'm going to watch every press conference, and then I will be doing some sort of video, kind of a wrap-up, talking about what I saw. So if you weren't able to catch it yourself, you can tune into this channel. You can find kind of a wrap-up of all of that stuff. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here trying to think, making sure I got everything. I think that is everything. But other than that, guys, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and my website down in the description below. That's a tongue twister for some reason. Feel free to leave me a comment. I'm always happy to get feedback from you guys. Please keep it constructive. I say it every so often, but please, constructive feedback, not just, hey, you suck, because that's... Thanks for telling me that. What didn't you like? So, if you're going to tell me I suck, at least tell me what you didn't like and what I should do to fix it. But other than that, guys, if you enjoy the video and you're not a subscriber, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, hit that like button. Come on, you know what I like. You should know this crap by now. All right, I'll shut the fuck up. Okay, here we go. According to reports, apparently the PS4 Neo may release by September. Joe Screbbles at IGN. This, I don't know. I'm still kind of going back and forth on the on the Neo, or the whatever, the PS 4.5, whatever the hell it's going to be. I don't know. I'm interested to see what it is, if it's going to be a better console, but I don't think it's going to be anything too spectacular. I think we're making a bigger deal out of it than it really is. But who knows? I could be way off. And speaking of, I guess Sony, Sony's E3 press conference has been scheduled Monday, June 13th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and Tuesday, June 14th at 2 a.m. BST and 11 a.m. AEST. I have no idea what those last two time zones are. Sorry, my head itches. And I mean, granted, even though it's June 14th, it's just the way the times all work. So that got that from an article by Seth G. Macy over at IGN. And once again, like I said, you can find post videos for all that going up on this channel after every press conference at E3. If you're like me and are super excited for Pokemon Go, you can now sign up. Words are hard. Field testing signups are now open. I'm trying to remember. I went through a link that's in the article by Marty Sleva at IGN. Where I also got the fact that to be part of this, you need Android 4.3 or higher, or an iPhone, or if you're like me with iPhone, it's iPhone 5 with iOS 8 and above. I already, I put my, I think I signed up earlier today, so I'm already on the list. But yeah, so if you want to be part of that field testing, go sign up now. I do not know when nowhere in this article did it say when the field testing started, or when it ended, or when signups end, or whatever. So I would suggest you do it sooner rather than later. Sorry. If you enjoyed the previous Yokai Watch, and I honestly, I keep hearing it's like Pokemon, but I don't know. It's the 3DS game. Well, Yokai Watch 2 is coming to 3DS in the US. That's funny. On September 30th, so keep your eyes out for that. Final Fantasy Brave Exvious. That was the full-scale Final Fantasy game on mobile. It will be coming. Will also be coming to the West in Q3, so we'll probably be seeing it a couple months maybe. Nicole Carpenter of IGN. And Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 will be available for PS4, Xbox One, and PC later this year, according to an article by Allegra Frank at Polygon. Yeah, I know I got dramatic with that last part. Microsoft has now officially pulled its support for Project Spark. If you don't know what Project Spark is, you're kind of in the same boat as me. All I know is that it's kind of like a user-created. I think it's like a game development engine or a development kit, but it's. I don't know. I mean, if anybody knows what Project Spark is, go put it down in the comments, because I'm interested, because I remember hearing about this, but once I found out it wasn't like a game in and of itself, I didn't care. Didn't care isn't the right word, but let me see here. Apparently now you can no longer download Project Spark from the Xbox Marketplace or the Windows Store, and starting August 12th, you can no longer download user-created content. Alex Osborne of IGN. This next story, I'm going to say, get the full details from the article by Kevin Noke, Knokke of IGN. This is just because I don't know this area of gaming very well. This has to do with esports. If you've seen the show before, I've talked about this. I'm not a big esports guy. I respect it and know what it is. It's just I don't follow it or really watch it. But apparently the first, the big first esports organization has been announced, been announced is correct. I don't think it's up and running just yet. It's called the World Esports Association, or WESA. So, like I said, you can find full details on this organization by an article by Kevin Noke, Knokke, Knokke, and Kevin, Kevin, over at IGN. Blizzard is doing something fairly interesting. Apparently, if Blizzard catches you cheating while playing Overwatch, you will be banned on your first offense. They are cracking down on that. That's maybe a little harsh. Maybe the first offense. This is from a post on the Overwatch forum. Let me see, and I quote, "Any player found to be cheating or using hacks, bots, or third-party software that provides any sort of unfair advantage." This comes from an article by Joe Screbbles at IGN. Again, I think that's a little harsh. I don't know. I'm not saying that it's harsh because I'm going to go and cheat. I'm probably not even going to play Overwatch. I don't know. If you guys think I should, you guys want to see some of it maybe? I don't know. Go tell me in the comments. But I think it's a little weird to start ban people on the first offense. Maybe second or third, but really the first. That's a little harsh. Plus, how are you going to decide when people are cheating? Is it off of as soon, because there's also ways to players to report suspected cases. I mean, is it like as soon as somebody reports it, are they banned, or is it like they're on notice, or like I need more details on exactly how it will work. But I mean, that's they're cracking down. Square Enix says it will be making 10,000 extra Ultimate Collector's Editions for Final Fantasy 15. I believe I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I believe the initial 30,000, I think, is what it was. That was copies or versions of that worldwide. That's sold out, I think, almost immediately. So they're making another 10,000 to kind of pick up any extra demand for them. And this is 10,000 collector's editions worldwide. This is not per region. This is worldwide, another 10,000. So if they're still available, I would suggest, and you want it, go get it now. Buy. This next couple quotes. This comes from Square Enix. Let's see here, and I quote, "We have only been able to produce 10,000 more UCEs due to the time it takes to create each individual Noctis Play Arts Kai figure because they are so detailed, and to confirm this is the final batch of UCEs we will produce." Square, end quote. Square also said, and I quote, "Trying our absolute hardest to get them to fans in time." Basically, this is them saying that these editions, may not be completely ready by the time. What the hell? Sorry, indigestion. That all these copies may not be ready by the time for the official launch, but they will come a little later. But apparently, according to Square, they are trying their best to get it out in time. Article by Matt Porter at IGN. Apparently, Pillars of Eternity 2 is currently in development at Obsidian. Obsidian CEO Fergus Urquhart, I believe is how that's pronounced, in an interview with Game Pressure, said, and I quote, "Obviously, as you've probably guessed, we're starting to move forward on Eternity 2. He also continues, Eternity 2 is not announced. It seems silly for me not to acknowledge it." So, or I think but it seems silly for me not to acknowledge it. So he's saying they're working on it, but we'll, it still hasn't had the official announce. Matt Porter, IGN. If you have played Star Trek Online on the PC, in this game originally on PC, I think back in 2010. You can now play it on PS4 and Xbox One this fall. This will be a free-to-play MMO, full game, all the expansions, everything. It's coming. The developer got a publishing deal, so it is coming to consoles sometime this fall. You find more details in an article by Eddie Makuch at GameSpot. A Polish developer, People Can Fly, is now working on a new AAA shooter. If you don't know who the hell People Can Fly, kind of like me when you just hear the name or read it, they were the people behind Bulletstorm, and the article brings up these 3 games specifically: the Bulletstorm, the Painkiller series, and Gears of War Judgment. First off, I want to say Bulletstorm, fantastic game. If you haven't played it, dust off your 360, go back, go play it. Really fun game. I say 360. I can't remember. I think that was a 360 exclusive. I can't remember if that came to PlayStation or if it was on. I think I played it on 360, so you can play it on 360. Bulletstorm, really fun game. Kind of arcadey, just run and gun shooter. Sort of like Doom. I kind of put them in the same kind of class. They're just a dumb, gory shooter. There was also some fun story. There was a fun kind of space piratey story. There was a lot of bad jokes. It was a fun game. I don't know what the Painkiller series is. I'm gonna be honest with that. But I didn't know that they did Gears of War Judgment. Although also in the article it kind of talks about the history of People Can Fly. Because back in 2013 they were kind of rebranded as Epic Games Poland. So it makes sense that they would work on the Gears of War Judgment game. Still not my favorite one. Yeah, it still wasn't bad. I think people give that one more crap than it deserves. And then they regained their independence as a studio in 2015, I believe. Also, I'm pulling facts out of my head from the article. Article by Joe Screbbles at IGN. Man, we're almost done. There wasn't a lot of news this week, guys. I'm not gonna lie, not a lot. The speed record is, well, I guess also speaking of Doom, the speed run record for Doom. Holy shit! I'm not thinking straight today, guys. Has been set at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 58 seconds by Draku, DRAQU. I don't know. I guess with these like gamer tags and whatnot, I can never, or internet handles, I can never pronounce them. I'm never sure what's supposed to be pronounced and what's not. And he also said, and I quote, "The start of the run was bad and some fights were slow. Will be improved." End quote. Matt Porter of IGN. Article by Matt Porter of IGN. Yeah, I speedrunners, they fascinate me, man. I don't get how they do it. Maybe it's not how I play games, but man, that's cool. Grand Theft Auto 5 has now shipped 65 million copies, according to an article by Seth G. Macy at IGN. Wow, that's a lot. Man, and that game has continued to sell regularly. It's honestly, it's amazing that game that came out, I think back in 2013, is still selling today. That thing just pop, game. They are selling a lot, man. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing that GTA 5 is still selling what it does. And I think that's also kind of, I guess on one hand, that's thanks to them not rebranding, but remastering it, bringing it to PlayStation 5, and also the popularity of GTA Online. There we go. I guess with all that, it's really kind of helped keep the game popular and relevant, I guess is the word. I guess also in Rockstar Take-Two Interactive news, at a Take-Two Interactive's earnings report, it kind of came out that Rockstar will soon be revealing some new projects. No idea what these projects are. We've gotten leaks that maybe we'll be seeing Red Dead Redemption 2. I really hope so, because I love Cowboys, and I loved Red Dead Redemption. So I'm hoping we're going to see Red Dead Redemption 2. If you haven't heard anything, I can't remember when it was that I talked about, I think, a leaked map. But I think it was talked about that it would be a prequel of how John Marston, of his time with his gang, and then they're falling out, and then what led into Red Dead Redemption. That's kind of the idea. Even though, again, I stand by it. I thought Red Dead Redemption was technically a sequel to Red Dead Revolver. So I'm not sure if that takes place in between it, or if they're completely tossing out Red Dead Revolver and making Red Dead Redemption 2 I don't know how that's going to work. And again, I'm speculating. Nothing has been announced. There's also no confirmation whether or not that these new announcements will be taking place at E3, even though I guess we're going to see something at E3 for Red Dead Redemption 2, and these other things, and also with Take-Two. Yeah, and I'm also going to throw in Mafia 3. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Mafia 3 stuff at E3, also being Take-Two Interactive, so. Wait, is it Take-Two? Don't quote me on that one, because I may be wrong, but I think Take-Two is publishing Mafia 3, because I know Hangar 13 is doing the development, but don't quote me on that. I think Take-Two is doing Mafia 3's publishing. I could be way off. Sorry, got on a tangent there. Apparently, the next Destiny expansion may have been leaked over on Reddit. There were pictures of some promo material. It will be supposedly called Rise of Iron, and this kind of fits in with there's going to be one more expansion thing around August of this year, with a sequel to Destiny being next year. It kind of falls in along with that line of that I think Activision set up. But again, none of this is confirmed. Speculation. Everything's speculation. And this is also according to some sources within Kotaku, that this expansion will be, and I quote, larger than both Year 1 DLC packs, end quote. Article by Lucy O'Brien at IGN. It'll be interesting to see what Destiny's going to keep doing. I don't know. It was a good game. I lost interest really quick. I'm kind of that way with The Division, which I still been meaning to pick back up, but yeah, it's Oh well. Apparently, Xbox One's backwards compatibility can now function with multi-disc games, according to an article by Vince Ingenito at IGN. I can't remember. I'm actually a little surprised that this wasn't already a thing, because I thought that already happened, but whatever. Either way, final news story. Like I said, guys, this was pretty quick, pretty short. Not a lot of news this week. According to Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot? I don't know, a French name. He says Watch Dogs 2 will feature, and I quote, new tone and innovative gameplay. Sorry. I mean, we already know that, one, the game's going to be taking place in San Francisco. We believe we know what the character's going to look like. I believe he's Asian. I could be wrong. But that's how he looked from the leaked images. But this new tone idea is interesting. I'm like, what is it going to be like? See, I don't think this kind of game works with like a lighthearted tone. I kind of want it to keep a sort of darker, more somber. Maybe not somber isn't the right word. But, you know, like kind of like a darker tone. Kind of like the first one, but with a better story. Because the first one, I really wanted to like Aiden Pierce, and I understood his motivation, but I mean, the overall gameplay of that was just kind of boring. And again, Aiden was very flat and one-dimensional, so I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with the tone. I'm interested. I'm probably actually more interested to know what this innovative gameplay is, because I can't see them breaking too far off of what they were doing in the last one. But who knows? I mean, maybe they kind of scrapped a lot of what didn't work with the first one, and now they're coming out with, better gameplay in this one, which I'm really hoping for. Yeah, that's all I got for you this week, guys. Man, I'm sorry this week's show, like I said, is late and wasn't really that long. There wasn't a lot of really great and interesting stuff. There's like some small tidbits and whatnot. Again, it's always like this, like the week or so before, or the couple weeks before E3. But yeah, guys, like I said, that's all I got for you. Thanks so much for watching. Like I said, back in the earlier part of the episode, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, on my website, down in the description below. I forgot to say this earlier, but down in the description, there will be like a list of events. You can, find me, time-stamped everything. So go check that out. I'm trying to think what else I was saying. Like I said, if you ever want to talk to me, give me some sort of critique, you hit me up down in the comments. You can also throw in any news story that I didn't cover this week, or maybe your own opinion on a news story that I did cover. Any of that stuff. Always happy to hear from you guys. Other than that, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the videos. You enjoy the channel, you want to help support, you want to view everything that's coming out, please do that. Guys, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week, back at, because the show goes up every Friday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Not this week, but usually. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm AJ Gels, this is the Untitled Gaming Channel. I'm out.